Mr. Orange, yeah, flip like Suzette with sweet cinnamon, been a man, and in a minute we're getting intimate. If you only enter it now, where the hell you been? Ladies and gentlemen, we reppin' the fatherland. Elias Museja le ride kuchile mafete. Empala sefete kachali logo tabiti. Fama hali hazi mena beneleki. Sinebale hopata haufile mokoroto. Hauti ya tiyani riberia mokoto. Mtibe murija wifeature lita utubarolo. Agaga tabaza onanisha.
We just want to get the gist of the technologies and museology. I believe we can get it abstract down. So if you could just give us a bit of that in 2 minutes, we'd highly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. It means on doing that. Kaya tuli wangu. Kahola wanaga shiani hasamsa. Yema mwana kahola. Talenta UNESCO, talenta company design, under which Ministry of Tourism, and those with the museum, the master and of the city as our terror at the Medolo, and also with the National Museum as the company, which I'm managing director of. Come together with Georgia, Television, Mahara, and Television. As if to attend Chelsea, the museum of the city in the museum. In our holy crew to the following line woman, who are so our saying technology. In Bar, in a lay, separate Philippine Hawaii. Most of the day, to be shown next in the whole of the day. What about some of us are going to go? I got a famana, local. Bona mama adita batsela tse sebedisitseng tse tsa wa bona ha motho nyane le jolo mo le thaba simo la sekezi ya bo tse di tsa kholo tse kholo tse re la le tsona go go fela ga ba thaba simo ke kholo tse ba ba go ba na le go ba sisa go tsama mme re tse go tse simbole tsa tsa technology go Think about $12 Telling that in trouble for a acidity into Tenata, we'll take it from Yangatona. Kira Falaga Piriana is the Florida Halfacre on the museum, Antakamana, and Nasa is Silava from Bar. Having said into Zawa, the woman had to actually museum was a Cortella to have a Jumuko. The most Mona Misiya connected as the National Commission for UNESCO as an online platform where crafters, Chile, China, Amazon, the Ministry of Tourism, who will be Kendo, Fumana, Sutwana, as I see, Lesaka, Hatana, Mokomo, Miko, Finkel, Nepeta Chances how Mahasaudia, Neta, Hakata, Museum, Havan, Tawas, and Compare, and half Visa, Africa. Ici, au cas à Holo, mal établi dans sa culture. La Holo est un peu sur la scène, comme pour sur la attention.
All right, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here as a content creator. Like I mentioned before, it's not often that content creators are in this space, so truly it is an honor. In terms of monetization when it comes to content, I think we have a very fixed idea of what that should look like based off of what we see, I guess, other countries doing. Content creation, we are only growing now as of late. It's not like Americans or people in the UK that have started way back during the inception of YouTube, for instance. When I come so I think with that, the learning curve is still quite steep, hence I'm here. But when it comes to the monetization of content, there is not a singular channel. It's not just platforms that ought to pay us, much like we expect. Yes, we would like to go there, but there are a lot of different ways in which we could get paid. A very common way in which we, as the current content creators, are able to monetize our content is through partnerships or brand deals, where now a third party comes in and like says we would like to sponsor you. Let's say, for instance, there's an event Kamanana Victory decides, okay, I'm going to pay you to put out a certain piece of content. You understand? Or, yeah, such partnerships I think are the most common ones, right? But rather than that, there are a lot of different ways to monetize. Another common way in which people monetize is through selling their own products online. Digital entrepreneurs, they use content as their traffic source, right? Rather than that, you have things like affiliate marketing, but that's not big in Lesotho as of yet because of our digital infrastructure or the lack thereof. So I think that is what I can say in terms of monetization, but platforms paying us is really a pain point because monetization as a whole is very flawed. It needs a lot of work. It needs support from different stakeholders altogether. But as far as platforms paying us, according to my research, I have learned that, I'm going to take Facebook for an example because it is the most commonly used platform in Lesotho. Facebook is owned by Meta, right? So you are aware of that. And the reason why creators on Facebook are able to get paid through the platform is because of their ad system. I didn't know that you can pay for ads on Meta and they can run on Facebook and then ads. That is the way in which they pay creators. So unfortunately, what I've come to find out is that Lesotho does not spend enough amount of money on Meta ads in order to be able to fund creators. Because at the end of the day, that money is supposed to come from somewhere, right? So it comes from the ads. So that is why we're having such a challenge with platforms paying us. Same with platforms like YouTube, same with a platform like TikTok, Instagram. It's pretty much the same concept. So yeah, I think I'll just stop there for now.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Khelu Jones and I come from the Lesotho Copyright Society of Authors and Artists. It's Valanga Bless Pastor. And we are the custodians that the copyright law and the copyright order. But Jogan, the said he also wanted to touch on the IP, intellectual property as a whole. And stuff. So we are here because we are coming up with policies and the frameworks that are in place. In its entirety. So if we are to talk about the available laws or the policies, we could start with the Supreme Law, the Constitution. Constitution section 35, the subsection 2 of it. The social shall adopt policies that are designed to, even to quote it, the social shall adopt policies designed to protect interests of any citizen in scientific, literary or artistic production for which he or she is the author. Now, come out of this constitution, there was an enactment here, the copyright law, meaning the industrial property here, 1989. There was the copyright law, meaning the copyright order, 1989 in the job. How did you believe this related to the industrial property deals exclusively with the industrial property, and there's the copyright order which deals with the copyright. And they are quite straightforward in terms of protection of how do you go about protecting your work as a creative. if I'm to talk about the copyright order in the actually by mere effect of you producing something, automatically you're protected. So protection is automatic under the copyright law. But we go further to say, then what? How so produce it? What then? It goes back to you as a creator, because now even the local poet, it grants certain rights to you that are exclusive to you as a creator, or you are the only person who have right to your spiritual house. So you are the person who can benefit from your creation. So after creating as a creator, you have the responsibility to ensure that the creation that I've made benefits me as a person, and there are guidelines into the order of how can you enforce your rights that are protected or that are automatic by the sole fact of creation. So the gap lies in the fact that the producers or the creators do not appreciate or are not aware of these legislations or how to enforce their rights. That's why we have institutions such as the Social Copyright Society of Authors and Artists as a collective management organization. So it's there to help creators to be able to enforce their rights. Yes, Chairman.
We understand that digitalization is really pivotal, and would like to understand how digitalizing cultural space, telling stories of our values and whatnot. Earlier today, we were actually talking about the equivalence of having our Huikam drawing in the caves, and equivalating that to watching the Fast and Furious. How much value has been lost, and how much can we preserve? Thank you.
We have a big challenge with culture vultures or cultural appropriation happening at large scale. Just yesterday we were talking about things like Black Panther. Just before Black Panther, we had an issue with the guys by Game of Thrones trying to come into the country and not being able to get in, and we lost the opportunity to sell our landscape. They ended up going to Australia. Our people didn't benefit, but they wanted something that looked like us. So we need to look into how do our grandparents, our uncles, our siblings, our cousins in the rural areas who have a lot of lost cultural knowledge. Things like that are lost. We don't have people who are doing knitting work anymore. There's a lot of lost skills that could be passed forward and protected. And the policies that we currently have aren't facilitating for us to make the best of what we can with the grassroots of the cultural produce that we make. So we need to digitize the space, but moreover, we need to help our people on the ground understand that they are the value first.